Hi, this is Mark Bellis for the Bellis Brickmox channel. This is a new Lego Power Functions train that I've made myself. The engine is a Class 14 trip working engine designed to operate at 40 miles an hour, built in the 60s, and it's pulling, or rather being pushed by, a thrown together Southern Region brake van containing all the Power Functions elements. We have the rechargeable battery, a pole reverser, an infrared receiver, a few leads, and I've added some extra diodes to drop the voltage to the two Power Functions train motors that are under the brake van to reduce their power compared to the Power Functions medium motor that is in the engine. The brake van is still pushing the engine because the amount of power in the motor in the engine is just sufficient to move it under its own power and not enough to pull the train, so the two train motors pull the rest of the train. The track it's running on is my latest test track. You can see on this straight portion here a few sections of flexi-track. I've put some 1x4 plates down the side to keep them straight, and around here we have some 28 pieces in fact to make a quarter circle at 72 stud radius of fully ballasted, canted and sloping flexi-track. I've supported the track with some composite tiles on supports of various heights. The slope is one plate for every 4 pieces of flexi-track, the same as you might do quite easily with standard track pieces. And the composite pieces of tile are that size, so there are 7 composites, although 3 of them are copies of 3 of the others, conveniently, because it's a symmetrical curve. There are various coloured dots that I've left around. They are markers. For instance, the red and yellow give me a line of where the next integer plate height is reached, and the brown and tan show me where the half plate height pieces are. I'm not going to take it apart now, but I'm going to post some pictures as well. The idea is that this is a test to see whether a flexi-track curve at a wide radius could reasonably replace a track composed of alternate standard curved and straight sections for the larger layout, which I'll stop this train and show you wider. Across there we have a station, some of the rail track hoppers you may have seen on my brick shelf folders, station bridge, station building, Hogwarts Express engine coach is there. At the moment this is just the outer circuit of what will be a 16 foot by 12 foot layout as an exhibition. So there are 2 tracks connected through the station, although the other platforms are in place in prototype, and I still have some more building to do on that. We have various test pieces around here. In the loft we've got an Emerald Knight there and the new passenger train, and there's also my building of Voco, one of the Thompson tank engines, and another Hogwarts coach. Oh, and this Hogwarts coach hiding behind the red tiles there is one that I've fitted train motors to for various tests. So over here in that dark corner there, let's just put the light on. Okay, we'll see in the slightly brighter corner the curves there. Now, as I grow this curve that I'm testing to 104 stud radius, it would replace the top curve on there, and that top curve is where the train struggles most. When you're pulling a heavy train, it tends to stall there, and the rechargeable battery cutout mechanism trips numerous times as the battery runs down. But I'm very glad that the Lego company put that feature in, because it does get the train round to a place where you can charge it, so you know that it's running out before it finally stops, and that could be very useful at the show. So there, just behind the black wall, I've made a point heater cubicle. I have seen real ones of that on the real railway in Britain, and I've also made a buddleia plant, and there's an awful lot of that on British railways, and that's capped by the white cone piece. So you can see I've got plenty of 9-volt track there, all ballasted, sloping, but I don't yet have flexi-track on the main lines. My current position is to use flexi-track in the yard with engines like the Class 14, and to use my 9-volt trains on the main lines for the time being. I'll continue to do tests to see if I can make the flexi-track work on the main lines, and to make sure that the Power Functions system will provide enough power. These two vehicles as they are will pull a relatively short train. I'd like to do more tests to find out if it will pull a train of sufficient length for an exhibition. And some of the trucks are over here. We've got an LMS line wagon that I've deliberately derailed to stop everything running away. Behind it, which is extremely dark at this time, that is a test truck. You can see with 6 wheels. If I bring it out into the light, okay, 6 wheels there, and the middle wheels slide, and that has 2 weight blocks on top. That may eventually become a milk tanker, and the weights are designed to represent the weight of the bricks. If I use roof bricks to make that, it'll be quite heavy. We also have a couple of gypsum wagons. J.C. Staton is the inscription on there. Let's just bring this downhill a bit, you can see some more. Now, J.C. Staton was a genuine company dealing in gypsum around Burton-on-Trent, just south of where I live in Derby. I have a book on the railways of Burton-on-Trent that has a picture of the real one. You also see an SC coal wagon and a couple of Moira coal wagons. Moira is a place in the region of Ashby-de-la-Zouch, and there were collieries there. And you can see these wagons, you can open the doors, and at one end the end will also rise. So that is the feature that was used on the real railway, where the coal was emptied from one end of the wagon when it reached the power station. Of course, they were replaced with merry-go-round trains, so that made the process quicker. And behind here we have a towed brake van. Now, towed is another Thomas character, so that's quite handy. A bit easier to make than a loco. So these can hide away again. The slope on this side of the layout is mostly at 1 in 30, which is 1 plate height for every 12 studs long. I have along here this module here with the green edge, and again this module with the other green edge. Reduce this slope at 1 in 30 down through 1 in 40 for 1 straight, 1 in 80 for 1 straight, and then the sloping tracks on this module, which are normally 1 in 30, I take some pieces out of the end, turn them over, put them back again, and seesaw the track, and this is at the moment 101 in 120. I can change that round for the exhibition when we are 16 foot by 12 foot, but because of these brick pillars that hold up the roof, I've added some extra modules to go around the back of them. In that corner we've got a few up together trees and a bit of a tunnel mouth. A lot of work to do still on this layout. But I'm estimating another 5 years. It might even be longer than that, I don't know, but in the meantime it's a lot of fun, and I hope you have lots of fun with Lego trains yourself, and I'd encourage you to get hold of these new Power Functions parts and some flexi-track and have a play with it, and see if you can make it work for your chosen prototype. And you can see there's various bags of bricks around here. quite a lot of us adult fans are into buying large amounts of bricks. That's not a bad thing. In order to build big, you have to buy big. So, yes, if you're not yet an adult, I'd encourage you to keep in with the engineering and art, and as you gain more disposable income, you can spend it on Lego, because that will probably last longer than you. So, for now, this is Mark Bellis for the Embellished Brickmox channel. Keep enjoying your Lego. Bye.